Hello. Hello, are you there? Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
She was sitting in the van.
Say that again.
Sitting in the van in Dallas. Is she on?
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
It said she tried to join. She joined, but nothing was, she didn't do anything, and then she got off.
It wouldn't let me on.
Well,
For a
it said,
minute. It put me on. When I tried to get on, it gave me some kind of like skeleton face and tried to do like a I don't know what it looked like a filter on some skeleton face or something.
yeah, it just told me Jeff wants to join.
You want
And
which one you want? Yours.
I'm having trouble getting the trip lever out of the plug drain.
oh, there she is.
It's stuck in there. Okay. If you need me to help me, let me know.
I can't get it out. I think that's why they're having so drainage.
Because the trip lever is stuck down in the drain. You gotta take a screwdriver and pry it up with the chain. Or the chain break. You gotta be careful because the chain will break. Hey, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't working before.
Yeah, I didn't have anything on you.
Yeah, I could see and it looked like people were talking, but I couldn't see you or anything.
So, how are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Actually, that's not true. I feel absolutely horrible. I've been sick for over a week and just feel absolutely miserable.
Not good.
Leslie's at home sick today, and so I don't know.
Going
I've
through everybody.
been miserable for a week now. So, all right. I don't know if they're on or off or getting on and jumping back off. So, was he said y'all had a team meeting this morning and had some notes from it?
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, just like going over everything and over the past few weeks and everything, and really maybe I'm just more confused or don't really know, like really want to know like what your role is and like what your deliverables are then, like what did you
Yeah. So, we can definitely talk through what that all looks like. But the more important part is what's the deliverables that you are doing and accountability that what it looks like moving forward. So
Why is that more important than what you have done?
because it's your company and my job is to get you to do the work for your company. And I know every conversation we've had going, well, Nick, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And the question is really, what are you doing for your company? And so I have an outline. I have a timeline for every single week of what I'm going to do through the 6 months that I've created for myself and for other companies. And what this looks like is different every week and every month. And what month 3 looks like that we entered into November 1st is very, very different than month 2. So I'll give you a little update of what this is going to look like. And I want y'all to know what month 3 really the plan is. Hang on, I've got to get some sugar. My blood sugar's low. I've been sick and my blood sugar's been messed up. So hang on one second. All right, are you there?
I'm here. I missed the first portion, but yes.
So I'm sorry, Jeff. I've been sick since last week when we talked.
Right.
My blood sugar's all jacked up. I'm trying to eat some candy to keep my blood sugar up, so I'm not all shaky.
Right.
So
I heard about what, like I guess the outline for month 3.
yeah, so month 1 is really
I asked him what he has done, and he says that's not important. The more important thing.
no, I didn't say it's not important. I said
But you said,
it's not as important as what you were going to do for your company.
yeah, but I mean, I
Okay.
don't agree with that at all.
Well, and that's part of the problem. It really is part of the problem because of the lack of ownership, the lack of accountability, and the lack of action that needs to be taken. Even when I gave you an assignment, you said, I don't want to do that.
No, I've done everything you've asked me to do. And you said I didn't take anything seriously, but every time I respond, I say something, then I send you a very detailed email. Example on the taxes, I send a very detailed email, and your response on the thing is, okay, we need to review to see if it's done. I don't need to pay you $5,000 to tell me I need to see if this is done. Like, I know that. Like, I could pay everything. It's my fault. I had a lot of trust and faith in you when we signed up for this. I didn't do my research on what a fractional CEO does. So I thought that that's the pay that you're supposed to make everything. And I just went with it and said, I should have done more due diligence. You were our coach, and I thought that that was the best thing for us because that's what you're saying.
Yeah. So let me walk through the outline with you, okay? And I'm going to tell you what month 3 is. I'm going to tell you what month 4, 5, and 6 look like because it's part of the growth process. Month 1 is the basics. We're going to lay the foundation. We're going to talk about facilities. We're going to talk about interactions. We're going to talk about key issues. We're also going to work through key financials, P&L report, assets, expenses, and taxes. We're going to work through the very basics of things so I can gather some information. Month 2 is going to be some basic assignments. It is going to be observation. Month 2 is I'm going to be a little hands-off, intentionally being hands-off to see how well you continue to do the things of facility maintenance, how well you do the things that have been started, how well you keep up doing the things that we've initiated. We're going to talk about finances. We're going to see if you make changes to the things that we talked about. We're also going to look at the assignments of how well did you own those things? How well did you respond to those tasks? What is the attitude towards ownership for the company? Month 2 is about observation and hands-off. Month 1 was let's create some basics. Let's create some basic actions. Let's create some foundational work. Month 2 is about observation. How well do you respond to those things? How well do you respond to owning those things? Month 3 is called the attack. Month 3 is about 2 meetings per week. It is about accountability reports, reports, and action items every single day of every single week. Month 3 is about the attack. It's called the attack month, and it's all about creating the change, enforcing the change in order that it changes the actions, the accountability, and creating the culture. So month 3 is, man, my blood sugar is so jacked up. Any more juice? This month 3 of November is about the attack. Lots of accountability, lots of action, lots of forced change. Month 2 was about how will you respond and observing how you will respond. So each month has a different agenda to it. I've told you over and over through this. It's about your ownership. It's about the action you take. And it's about trusting the process through 6 months. So I've told you throughout the process, you're not going to see my deliverables on week 3 or on month 2. You're going to see my deliverables at the end of the full process of 6 months. That's why a coaching or a CEO, fractional CEO is not a 90-day process. It looks different. It has a formula to it.
Things I've researched are different. And what's frustrating on our end is like what I was trying to say is, you know, I answer these questions, but it's like you don't even read the emails that I send. And when I ask certain things, we have to understand why you're asking these questions, because if I don't feel that they're like everything I read of fractional CEO, like you should be telling us what the job description should be. You should be the bonus structure and the bonus plans. We have met with Missy on a certain path coach over in your absence the past 2 weeks, and she has made more changes in the past 2 weeks than we have done in 2 months.
You know, and my question on that is, if we're supposed to, month 1's supposed to be P&Ls, what have you taught us about a P&L? I've learned nothing. I've learned more from Missy in the last 2 weeks over a P&L than I have. I don't even know that we've even talked about a P&L.
Yeah, we have. Me and Jennifer spent extensive time talking about the importance of it. When we sit here, part of your P&L was looking at how much waste you've spent. That was a huge part of the conversation for your P&L, is understanding you've been spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for marketing, for hunting trips, and for vacation trips.
That's not true. Like that
100%.
If you go and look at our P&L the way that it is dropped down, like if you look at our job costing, you look at those things and you see what our AR and like different things, I don't know. Like Missy, like I gave her the same thing. She went over there. She went into the jobs, and she had Jeff pull up the jobs, look at the job costing, and to see if the pricing was right, and go over that. And she changed our price list price from 325 to 400, just like that. And she went over an extent the P&L and why they want it broken down the way it is, where you can see what you're spending on. And
So she was okay with you paying for your mortgage out of your business. She was okay with you paying monthly trips to.
I marked my mortgage as personal. And you're the one that told me you'll go on trips and y'all do meetings and
That what?
have your people, that you and your family, you'll go on trips and you do meetings and you'll have a meeting and do that. That's what you.
Yeah, those are called annual board retreats, not casino trips, Oklahoma, going to concerts.
Okay, but
and all
did you
the-
look at how they were categorized?
Jennifer,
It's the
they
categorization
weren't,
that
weren't
matters.
categorized correctly. I actually brought that up in the last meeting with y'all, that these things are not categorized correctly.
But the things that you're bringing up, they weren't all categorized as business expenses. Some of them were, some of them weren't. But like, and I mean, and that's where I was frustrated, was because I already know, and we already went with Jeff over the spending, and we said that we were going to do it. It's an urgent meeting that I had other things I was going to work on, and you're going over expenses that I already knew. And plus, then pull Brody into a meeting that and proceed to tell him how much we pay ourselves, and proceed to tell, which he's a service manager. He's not a ownership in the company or anything. And it was more like, I mean, it was things that we had already gone over with you. And so I don't understand. We have not gone
Jeff even
over.
said in that conversation, he didn't understand how bad it was.
Do you know at that point of that meeting how much our, what bills we had due or anything like
Yeah.
that? You take out July, you know how much we had due?
Yes. I looked through all that stuff.
Okay, do you know what Certain Path does for us? As a coach, you sit there and look and you see what all we have. You're talking about expenses that we shouldn't have. And you look at everything and you see how much we're paying you versus how much I could pay someone to come in the office and help me set up fly, help me do these other things that need to be done. And you can truly say that this is what's best for our company. And I ask you every time what you've done, and you can't give me anything. And now all of a sudden you're telling me that you've told us for the first 2 months that that's how it's going to be. And that's not, because why would we be so frustrated if we knew that nothing was going to be done in the first 2 months?
I have told you over and over, it is a process that is 6 months long, and you will go through this process and trust the process. I have told you multiple times, you have to trust this process. Jennifer, you literally put on one of the things I asked you to do. I don't want to do that.
No, I didn't say I wanted to, I removed it, because why am I sitting here telling you what I want to do when I don't actually? Please tell me what relevance that has.
That's the problem, Jennifer. You think you know the answers.
I'm
You think you know where we're
I am
going.
asking a question. Can you tell me the relevance so I understand?
Yes, the relevance is so that we can get some crap off your plate and figure out how we hire the person who does the things that you shouldn't be doing as the owner of the company. But the problem is when we look at these things and you say, well, I have to do everything. Well, we need to figure out what everything is. That's why we spent so much time in our last meeting going, okay, tell me more about this. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about, because I have to put all these pieces of the puzzle together in order to paint this picture for you to show you where we're trying to go.
I know what I do. When you
But
were our
not
coach,
everybody, listen,
when you were our coach, we sat there and we went over when Jeff left. You have in your slides everything that I do. I did that. Then you said I didn't take my things seriously, which I showed Brody and Jeff. I wrote every single thing on pages. And when I'm answering phones and doing other things, I did the best that I could. And you said that I didn't, and I did. And when I sit there and respond to you and ask you things, you don't sit there and read what I sent. And so I'm asking, when I sit here legitimately ask, there's a reason I'm asking you, because yes, I need to understand what I need to do, what I want to do. That right now at this point does not fully matter to me. To spend time to answer those questions when I have past due taxes to take care of, these other the current taxes to take care of. I'm answering the phones. I'm doing these other things, trying to make sure these invoices are done. But yet I'm having to answer a question of what I want to do and what I don't want to do.
Yeah, that's right. Because you have to create a path forward that looks different than your current reality.
Okay, so why can't you create positions that we should have in our company and we know what we should hire? Why am I having to give you all the answers?
Say that again.
Why am I having to give you all the answers? Why? Everything I see of a fractional CEO that I looked afterwards is
how much time have you spent doing that?
leadership. They define roles, accountability, reporting structure, compensation strategy. The CEO designs pay for performance, models, example, tech incentives, dispatcher bonuses, direction, brings a plan, tools, and structure.
Okay, so Jennifer, what do you want? I'll literally ask you, what does success look like at the end of the 6 months for you?
I answer because I said right now I honestly can't answer the question. I honestly need to know what you've done to be able to give you an answer to the question. The confidence that the changes we are implementing on our own from our certain path coach to see on this whole success in 6 months. And that's my honest answer. That's why I didn't answer it before.
Okay. What do you want? What do you want moving forward?
I want to know, what do we pay $10,000 for?
You did not pay $10,000 for the last 2 months. You're paying for 6 months of a program. And
How can we say we pay for 6 months of a program and 2 months in and see nothing except for an Excel sheet showing to clean the shop, put light bulbs in, and that's what we get for 10,000. Oh, now this structure is gonna. Now all of a sudden we have a program that's just gonna take off to a third of the way through it, and I just don't see the outcome of it. I don't see the benefit of it. I'm sorry, I've been all pro Nick, all Nick, but I just don't see the benefit and what we've gotten out of it. And I mean, to me, if it's a contract that we have to part ways with, sometimes it's just better to take your losses, and it is what it is, man. Like, no disrespect. I don't see the fact that I have gotten what I expected for the $10,000 I've spent over the third of a contract. It just, I don't see it, man. I don't. And
I mean,
so
it's
1
like
month we get a spreadsheet of change light bulbs, clean up. I do pick things up. Yes, it did help, but we knew we had to do that, and we were slow.
But you've never done it.
Oh man, we do it. We do it every year when we get slow.
So,
A lot of times.
okay, you talk about accountability. I would like for you to take some accountability. Like, we asked for employee. You told me not to take care of. You were going to take care of employee handbooks, the drug testing policy. Brody asked for a percentage of bonus pay, and you turn around and ask him what he thinks, and to him that's very frustrating because these aren't things like we ask these questions, and so I'm sorry, that's where my lack of confidence now is coming. And maybe you do know, but not answering these questions makes it where I'm like, does he even know what he's supposed to be doing?
I don't. I'm.
Well,
Program is a program, and it's all my mistake has always been in the past. Like, hey, if something's not working and there's no value in it, and I've spent what I see to be an unrealistic amount of money for what I've gotten in the last 2 months. I don't see moving forward with it. I just don't. Like contract, no contract, judge, whatever it has to be. Like I just don't see moving forward with it. Like it to me, it's been a nuisance and a waste of my time. Even today, sitting here on the phone, when I have stuff that I could be doing to turn a needle, and I don't feel like in the last 2 months anything productive that really turned the needle, other than I will say the mood of just picking a shop up. But if that's all I get in a whole month is a list of pick this up, pick that up, that to me is not worth $5,000. It's not.
I
It's
agree
not.
with that.
I mean, I understand that. Like, okay, so in
I'm
all
not-
fairness, if we have this amount of work for 2 months, then why couldn't we have knocked? Okay, pick this stuff up for $5,000 and then knock that month off of it. Why are we getting charged a whole second month, which is $5,000 for somebody to sit back and watch? So I'm gonna sit back for a month and see what y'all do and come back and reassess it for $5,000. And like the monthly outcomes of what I saw, I don't see it as being what I'm going to waste my money on. And frankly, it's not about a conversation to me of explaining much of anything other than I'm not going to move forward with it. I have too much to do to sit here and debate over it. I've heard this for a week, 2 weeks about the frustrations, and all it has done is irritated me and slowed me down at work and frustrated like my process or my progress.
Okay. So what are you saying you want to end the contract?
I haven't read the contract. I don't know what the contract states. I don't know what the outage is. I don't know. I have no idea what that entails, but I mean, I just don't see the benefit of the contract.
Okay. So here
I don't want to be. I don't want to be rude about. I want you to understand my frustration, and I don't get any answers, and all I get is that I have attitude. Yes, I have attitude because I'm sitting here working my butt off every day, in and out, getting everything possible I can do, and doing everything I can. And I have our coach that's already included in our pricing. And she gave us so much knowledge in 3 meetings in 2 weeks. Like we had 3 meetings. One was a 30-minute meeting. Brody, she went over how he sells his jobs and what he's doing and how to do it differently. She went over asked Jeff, okay, let's look in these jobs, and went over each job and looked into it to see what they're doing and everything. And so to me, and then I go, I have I've had to with other things to do with, and then I go and I read this, and you can't give me an answer of why these questions are relevant and what they do. It's very, very frustrating. And you can't tell me what you're doing.
The answers for why these questions are important. I did tell you the answer why these things are important.
No, all you've said is that trust the process and 6
No,
months.
that's not true. Absolutely not. No, when you ask, why are these questions important? I told you it's because we have to paint a picture of what you should be doing as an owner, what you should not be doing as an owner, and how we hired this person.
But I know what I don't need to be doing.
Well, why are we
Doesn't matter
painting a
what-
picture? Why are we painting a picture instead of saying, here's the process,
Here's
here's
what
what
you
you
need to
do as
do.
an owner, here's what you don't do as an owner? Why are we
Yeah.
trying to paint a picture to explain something other than here's what you do and here's how it's done, and that's the end of the story. If you want to do it, you move forward. If you don't, you don't.
Because if you've known all these things, then why haven't you ever done them? If you know that you're having to do too much, why are you not making the changes and hiring these? Because that's why you hired me.
Put us on a
Well,
hard-
okay, if we've known this,
I don't
whether
wanna-
we've known
I don't-
this or not, why does it take 2 months to tell us this? If you know it, why are we waiting 2 months to tell us? Instead of what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Tell us what to do. I haven't heard of what to do in due process of hire this person. This
I
person
cannot
should be
tell
over
you what
that.
to do, Jeff. I cannot tell you what to do. If I tell you what to do, it's fully dependent upon me. My job is to lead you to own your company and to make your company successful.
So how do you teach us what to do? You say we should know what to do.
No, I did
And if we
not.
knew what to do, no, I'm sorry, if we knew what to do, we would have already done it. But
Yeah.
instead of like leading us on the line and telling us what to do, it's like, hey, I'm gonna have y'all figure it out on your own.
No.
I'm gonna lead you this way and have you figure it out instead of
Okay.
A
I don't
fractional
know, man.
CEO
It
does.
doesn't even make sense to me. And at the point of a conversation where to save good blood, not give me a bad feeling, at the point of a conversation of trying to agree on something that I'm not gonna agree on, I think it's y'all figure out what you need to do, but it's time for me to step off this conversation before I say something I shouldn't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jeff, okay. So are y'all ready to end the contract? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, you're not giving anything. Like, you're not giving anything, Nick. I'm trying. Like, I'm literally trying. I'm sitting there. Like, here's what's very frustrating is, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna see what we need to cut out. And I'm sitting here, and time after time, I've said, okay, with how much? Yes, I should have done more due diligence before. Said yes, let's do this. I should have researched more and asked you more questions of what you can do. That is my fault. Like I said, I fully trusted you had our best interest and this is what we need. And I went with it and I said, okay, like that's on me. Like I never, if it was anyone else, I wouldn't have just said, okay. And that is the God honest truth. Like I would have done a lot of research. I would have been like, Jeff, no, that's way too much money. I can't do that right now. I honestly don't feel that timeline of the first month and the second month, and this is all what that we're going to do, because I wouldn't have been this frustrated if I knew that that's what it's. I feel like it's backtracking because you know that we're frustrated, and this may not be the case at all. It may not be, but I'm just telling you how it looks on my end. On my end, that's what it looks like and how it appears to be. I don't need to pay someone that much money to sit there and for me to tell you everything that I needed someone to come in and make changes, someone to come in and say, this is what you need to do. Here's what this role is. And then in 2 weeks, we can hire this person, or in a month, we should be able to hire this person. And then we're going to do this. Like at the very beginning, you said we're going to be on a hiring freeze for 45 days. And you were, more involved, and like it did seem like things were going to be done. And so then when
Why do you think I said that? Why do you think I said that? Why do we need to be on a hiring freeze? That's right. Because I needed to collect more data. I needed to understand your P&L, which you took over 30 days to get. I needed to understand what the different positions in the company were, and I needed to understand your job. And the more I understood that way, at day 60, we could start making some crucial hires. I'm going to stop. I don't want to defend myself. I don't feel like I even need to defend myself. I know the deliverables that I deliver to companies every day. And so I really hate that you think this wasn't worth it. And I hate that you cannot trust where we're going. And at some point, I broke your trust. I broke all of y'all's trust. And I don't know if I can get that back. I do know that when I've done this with other companies, it is difficult. It is.
I thought we were the first company.
No, you're the second. As a fractional CEO, what I do with companies on a coaching basis, I have companies that I meet with once a week, once a month. I have companies that I meet with 8 times in a month, 9 times in a month. Every company I work with is different, but every company trusts me in this process. And if that's gone, I can't change that.
It's not that. What I'm saying is that we also have certain path and we have resources at our fingertips, and that is that we want to do it the certain pathway of selling, of the P&L, of those things. And before we went and said this coaching thing, you knew that my books weren't there. So if it had to have that to start this, then why did you encourage me to start this right then? Why did you say, hey, when you get this, then let's start it? Honestly.
because for 3 months I'd have been asking for your books and nothing had changed.
So then you
3
should have told me, then why
3
didn't you
months
say,
before
hey,
that, I tried to get you to get Leslie to clean up your books. 3 months before.
okay, so then why
And
didn't you say,
nothing
hey,
changed.
Jennifer, okay, so why didn't you say, hey, Jennifer, Jeff, you don't have your books yet, so it's really not a good time to start this. Like, I would have to have this before to be of service to you, to help for this to go anywhere.
Jennifer, what would you like to do next?
You never answer my questions. You
Jennifer,
talk about
I
ownership.
did.
That's
I
ownership.
did answer. Do you understand? You still would not have had your books together if we didn't start this process.
Yes, I've been working on trying to find someone to do my
You've been
books.
working to find someone, but no,
Yeah.
no action has come about.
It's not just because you became our fractional CEO that I did something. I was working on that before you were my coach. It's
Okay.
not just that. That's not the reason.
Okay.
So I'm asking if you knew that. That's what I'm asking. So why didn't you advise me as a coach? Be like, hey, before you start this, you really need to have your book. So let's start it. Like,
Because that was part of my job, is to push you to get this done so I have the information to help you. I didn't think it was going to take over 30 days to get your books. I did not think that, because you told me y'all were working with this company and you were paying them and they have it all cleaned up, but they didn't.
we had just started with it, and I said, it should be by mid-September or whenever it was. And it was a year and a half of books to go through. But I guess you've done everything you're supposed to do. And it's on
No,
us.
I
You haven't
trust
done
me.
ours.
Trust me, I take ownership for my failures in this. I do not think I've built your trust well. I don't think I maybe communicated like I thought I did. I have not set clear expectations. Those things are all on me.
What about like when we asked about, your new employee handbooks, drug testing policy,
You broke up on me. I didn't hear you.
like the employee handbooks and drug testing policy and those things.
The last time we talked about that, Jeff said he already had one, that he was
So
going to
I
use.
said we didn't get it from you. So I went and researched and got it, and then I uploaded it into a shared document. And like to me, I thought you would look at that, and other things. And it's just that's why when I say what have you done, I legitimately am asking, what have you done? I feel like it's just been, here's this, do this, and then when we respond to it, like it's not looked at. Like when on the tax thing, like I put on there,
I've looked through all that stuff. I've
send Nick
tried
a
all that stuff
copy
from
of
Tracy.
send Nick a copy of every paid invoice, and I did, and on there I put very detailed of everything of what had been done, what had been done. And your response on here was, we need to review this and make sure all this work is done as been paid for.
Yeah, meaning that did Tracy deliver the things that you paid for?
Right. Did you read the email that I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so why did I need to send you every paid invoice? Why did I need to go through that trouble of looking them all up to send you for me to do what I need to do anyway?
Jennifer, because I needed a review to understand what things Tracy's supposed to be doing, what things has he not done, has he done these things? So I needed to gather information. And what I do in coaching is gather more information so I know how to better ask the next question in order to make the next decision, in order to lead to success. But that is the gathering of the information. It's always part of the process.
So in this, you're saying you're never going to give us and say, this is what this position needs to do, and say anything. We're basically
That's not what I said at all. We will do that. Month 3 is about action and attack. It's about attacking with action of accountability, action items, action reports, and creating the next hires that are necessary. It's all about action and attack moving forward. That's what month 3 is.
So you're gonna come up with these items, or we
No,
aren't?
I will not create items for you. I will work with you to create these items. I don't
It
create.
makes zero sense of why pay somebody that much money when I'm still doing it. Like, I don't understand.
It's your company.
You're the fractional CEO. Everything I read of what they do, that's what
Jennifer, how
it
much
says.
time
They
have you
don't
spent-
ask
how much
you what
time
a
have you
job.
spent researching CEO?
Hmm?
How much time have you spent researching fractional CEO?
Last week, I
How much
went on a look
time
and I was
period have you spent?
frustrated.
Huh?
I went on a look because I was like, told Jeff, I said, maybe I don't understand what a fractional CEO should be doing.
So
Everything I read,
how much time have you spent researching it?
I don't know. I didn't keep track of it, but I mean, that's what it says.
That's what it
Expectation,
says.
leadership.
Your research says
What a
You think-
true fractional CEO does: defines roles, accountability, reporting structures, compensation strategy, designs pay for performance models, example, tech incentives, dispatcher bonuses, direction, brings a plan, tools, and structure. Like, we were not under the understanding that you weren't going to do any of this, that we have to do it. That is not what I thought this was going to be at all.
okay. I think y'all need to review what decision y'all want to make. Because I do not make decisions for companies. Never have I ever. I don't care if the company making $100,000, they hit their first $100,000 or they're hitting $100 million a year. I don't make decisions for companies. I guide companies to make the best decision for themselves. That's what I do. I will create and work with you to create systems, strategies, and operations. I will work with you to create these things, but I will not
But
deliver
that's what
them.
we were doing as a coach. So why are we paying so much more money for the same thing? I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to understand. That is a lot of money.
Okay. So what decision do y'all want to make moving forward is the question.
Because you don't want to answer my questions.
What your question is, that's a lot of money. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what
tell
we're
you-
doing as our coach. We're paying for a lot less. So why is it so much more? Why did you encourage me to do this fractional CEO when that's what we were working on, what we were doing? Why did you think that was in my best interest for us to do that?
Because month 3 and 4 and 5, what you're going to get is would take you a year of coaching.
How? Like, what are you?
Because this month we go to 2 meetings per month per week. We go to more actions, and then month 4 is about systems and strategies, and it is a process to get to that point. So what we create is at a whole different level than anything you've understood before.
So we did one more meeting a week, but we paid $4,000 more a month. And like, I don't. I don't understand why it's so expensive. I don't think for the hours, I don't understand why it's so expensive.
I don't know how to explain that to you in such a way that you would, you understand. I don't think you want to understand. I think you've already come to the point that you already believe something. And so I can't change your mind on this. What I know is there's people that pay me twice a month, twice what you pay me a month, that I do this or less for, and they believe me at every step. They take action at every step. They come back and go, this is complete the next
They
day. They
also,
work through things and we create and implement strategies for them that move them. But you don't
I
trust
understand.
me. Ultimately, you don't trust me.
Do they also have another coaching program as well? And, we've said from the beginning that we want to do it the certain pathway and all of those things. So what I'm saying, I'm trying to understand from you is I don't think you really asked us enough about what they want to do or how, anything like that. I say that I know you aren't the one to make a decision of who to hire or what to hire or what position, like whatever, but I don't feel that we should be anywhere in the contract that was sent or conversations had any clue that this is how it was going to be. Um, you may have that for the other companies. What I was saying is we also have them as well. So I don't see how.
Okay. So I've asked you, what do you want to do?
For me to have trust and whatever, and can you tell me when you talk about accountability, and I've asked what you've done, you can't tell me because you say you're not going to tell me.
I have answered every time that you've asked. I've told you what I've done and what I'm doing. I've answered every single time.
The plan the whole entire time was for
I have-
month 2 for you to not
Every
be.
time you've asked me what I'm doing, I've told you.
Okay, so the plan, we're aware of the plan for the whole entire time. That month 2
It's not.
was basically for you to not be involved and for.
It wasn't for you. You don't. So you think you need to understand what I'm doing to know that I'm
Yeah.
doing something?
Who wouldn't want to
Same
understand
thing.
what you're doing and they're paying $5,000 when we were getting coaching for $1,000 a month? Who wouldn't? Who in their right mind would not want to understand that?
Because a patient doesn't understand what the doctor's doing when they go into surgery.
Okay,
So the doctor has to explain every cut to the patient before they're allowed to be paid.
if they don't understand and they ask
No.
want to know why, yes.
That's crazy. It's craziness. So that they need to take
I don't feel you did
patient
anything
medical
last month. Like you didn't even tell us you were leaving. We didn't even know. We didn't have our meetings. So yeah, it's you pay somebody $5,000 and they don't do something. You tell me how you would feel. That money had been tight and everything. That's what I'm saying. So you tell me.
Yeah. You still haven't answered my question.
Is I don't feel you've met what the expectations that we had of what this position is.
Okay.
You know, all three of us were in that meeting and nobody got this. I'm not one of them. So I don't think that it was explained very well how the process works. I felt like you would be a lot more involved. That's what we all thought.
I hear you on that. I think you had an expectation. And I don't know where that expectation came from about what this process looked like. You had your own idea of what it looked like more than trusting the end result.
I mean, there's an end result, but there's also things that can be done in the meantime to help and move things along and other things. I mean, you know, like, I don't think you followed through on the accountability and making sure that things that said were being done all the time. I mean, I don't think that you're holding yourself accountable either for those things. So I think you're trying, this is recorded and you're trying to get me to say a certain way. I don't know. But, you know, I'm honest
I
and
want to know what do you want?
why. I want a fractional CEO that, you know, gives answers and, you know, I'm not having to pretty much figure things out, then tell it to you, then go to other, like, it's just, I don't know, like, that you're not going to tell us those things. So you're not going to make decisions. You're not, which I don't agree with. I think you should have look at numbers and come up with bonus plans. I think you should have been able to tell us by looking at job costing, like, you know, this is the percentage you're spending. We're spending more here and you need to cut that. You don't have to look at every single transaction. You say this category right here, you need to look further into it and cut that here. I don't think
You don't get to pick and choose what line items we look at. You have to look at all of it.
they're all in categories and you can see, well, your percentage here, what you're spending is, you know, too much. It should be here. So then go and take a deeper look.
That's exactly what I did.
Okay. Question gas stations. I said we have Flex cards, and then you question. I mean, like, I don't know. That meeting was ridiculous, but that we already knew where the money was
No,
going.
that is incorrect, Jennifer. You've said that over and over again, and that is not true. It is not true. You did not know where the money was going. You didn't even have a P&L sheet before 30 days ago.
How
And
did I not know where my money was being
you
spent
did
when
not
I looked
know.
at my bank
Jeff
account
did not
every
know.
single day?
No, absolutely. You didn't realize how
How
much,
did I not know?
obviously you didn't know.
What do you not think I didn't
If
know?
if you knew, you would have made changes.
You were my coach, Nick. Come on now. You know the frustration and the struggle that I had with Jeff and everything else.
I
You
sure
knew.
know.
You're going to sit here and say that I didn't make changes? Try to make changes?
You should have never been frustrated in that meeting, Jennifer. You should
Yes, I
have thought I was
should
your
have.
biggest advocate in that meeting.
You knew I had to be somewhere, and you text me on a Sunday that it's urgent to go over things that I already knew where the money was being spent. You're going over line items, and I'm having to tell you it is, yes, I'm very frustrated. But you, as a person, you knew. You had been our coach for months, and you knew the frustration that I had and what I tried to do. And you know how is that? Why do you think I was so, okay, yes, let's do this, and didn't do any research on anything? So do not, and I'm sorry, but that is really making me mad. Do not sit here and say I didn't try to make changes. If I knew where the money was being spent, and I didn't know where the money was being
You
spent.
didn't know where it went.
I knew exactly where the money was being spent, but I needed help to make changes.
So in the meeting that I was trying to make the changes, you were my biggest.
What did you come up with to make a change besides just sitting there going over the transactions? What did you have? What logic? What was your suggestion?
No changes make when things are unclear. I had to make things very, very clear about the problem that this company had.
Okay. What changes did you suggest or make from that you had to, that was so urgent that I did not know where my money was being spent, supposedly? What from that meeting? What did you do?
Jeff, you can't go to Academy. Jeff, you can't go to concert. Jeff, you can't do these on business finances.
And you'd already gone with over that with him the week before. He knew that.
He didn't. Okay.
Okay, so what changes did you make from that?
Well, obviously your report looks different this month, so something changed.
Yeah, Jeff knew when he saw it. He actually looked, and that's what he said before that meeting. So please tell me. I'm asking you. You're telling me everything that but you, what changes? What was your suggestion from that?
Jennifer, you've had 100 conversations with Jeff about finances, is what you've said, and nothing's changed. For the month of October, your finances changed. It was the first time that I went line by line item with him and showed him the ridiculousness of y'all's finances. And October's numbers were different. Seems like there was a major change.
Oh, it was in September. Take July and August out because you already knew that we went on vacation. We already talked about that. So compare October to September.
Jennifer, you want to pick and choose little nuggets that you like.
No,
And
compare October and September. If you want to say it's because of that, what is the difference from September and October? That's what I would like to know. Is there a big difference there?
Yeah, the amount of money he spent in September was ridiculous.
Okay, how much was it?
I don't have it all pulled up right now. But Jennifer, the point is, it's a mindset. You want to look at this 15 days and this 10 days and this 5 days.
No,
it's not.
no, you're sitting there
It's
saying
not 30 days.
October
It's a mindset.
No, you're saying October is different because of that meeting. So I'm asking what September was. I'm not asking what 15 days in October was. I'm asking September. If you know it was that much different, I'm asking you.
I don't have, I closed that window out. I looked at this yesterday afternoon and saw that it looked like
We've had a lot more income coming this month too.
I'm not even looking at the income. I'm looking at the expenses.
Okay. Well, that has to deal with what jobs and everything. Well, so I'm asking.
Maybe I still have it up over here. Oh, I have that report saved on my laptop. I was on my laptop at home. That's why I can't find it.
Okay, well, our cost of goods sold in September was 31,774. Our cost of goods sold in October was 78,193. Our expenses went up in October from September. So, I mean,
Okay.
so what are you saying our expenses went down from what month?
I don't know. I need to pull it up on my other computer. I don't have it with me. So Jennifer, what is the plan moving forward?
Well, I mean, I would love to say that I have the confidence, but I mean, like asking that question right there, and you're telling me one thing when I asked about it, didn't have the answer, and I'm saying it's not compared to July because we know in July and August that's what we did. However,
I
look
do
at
not look.
September.
A CEO, an owner of a company does not look at just 30 days. I'm looking at the quarter. I'm looking at the last 90 days. There's more to it than just looking at micro things. I'm looking at all of it. I'm categorizing all of it. I'm looking at how things have changed. So
I understand. So how do you not understand what I'm saying from September and October because that's when we started. So what I'm saying is you knew in the summer in July and August, yes, we already know that we spent that much. So what I'm saying, if you're sitting there saying that that's what the change was and that's what helped, what I'm
No.
saying is
when I
we
looked
already
at it,
knew.
when I looked at it last week, it looked like the amount of frivolous spending was down, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm. So I will unpack those numbers again when I get home on my laptop, and I did think that it looked like things were better categorized than before. But not everything. I've got to pull up my notes from my other computer. And that's because and that's not because I don't have the answer. It's because I don't have the answer in front of me. Do you not think they're better for this month?
September,
or October?
compared to what?
You said compared to September.
I mean, the expenses are more.
Okay, I will share my notes with you either tonight or first thing in the morning on my notes on the finances, comparing those 2 months, because I didn't just compare those 2 months.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, the reason why I'm saying that is because we already knew in July and August, you knew that from us when you were our coach, and not this. That those things we were changing when you were our coach and knowing what it was. So that's why I said, okay, compared to September, I legitimately am trying to understand and know, but every time and why I feel, I didn't say you didn't know, you're the one that said something that I don't know. That's how it comes across, because every time I ask a question, there's not an answer, and it has to come back. And
Because I don't just throw out an answer for a question that I don't know the exact answer for.
understand,
That's foolishness.
understand.
What is the plan moving forward?
I don't know.
This is the crux of the conversation that has to be today. You have to make a decision on what is the action I'm moving forward.
I know it's hard for me because I don't. I know you say you've given me answers, but I don't know what I want to answer has really been to give me the confidence into that you do know what you're doing and that it is a lot more than what we're getting as a coach, because I honestly feel we're getting a coach, and we're paying a lot higher price for it. That's what I feel we're getting. I don't feel we're getting fractional CEO input and additional work. I feel like it is a coach, and I think you are a great coach. I do, but it's the paying that much more money is what I have a really hard time with, and I don't feel we're getting more. That I felt like we were getting more as our coach. Like honestly, this past month, like I mean, you have to understand, like it's very hard. It's very difficult. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm legitimately trying to understand the difference.
I don't think you're being rude.
I try to understand the difference from what we as a coach to what we're getting. And I mean, I think that's a legitimate thing, but I mean, I don't know. How about let me think some more about it, and if you and we talk tomorrow morning, maybe you can have some kind of thought, something else for me tomorrow. I'll talk to Jeff about the rest of our conversation. Is that fair?
Yep. Here's what I would like. I would like for you to send me a message by 5 o'clock by the end of the day and say, what you're planning, what you want to do moving forward.
He's on a job, so I don't know why.
You,
I would like for you to think about it too and talk to him in the morning. I can know what I'm saying, but
to
don't
talk to him in the morning?
you.
For me to talk to him in the morning?
No,
I just didn't hear you. You broke up.
I was saying like maybe you don't need any more time to think about it, and maybe you think that it's worth every penny and doing everything that you said you would do. But that's why I said I thought maybe you could think about it tonight too, and then tell me in the morning like if you feel the same.
What are you wanting me to think about? I want to make sure I completely understand. I don't want to make any assumptions here.
From a coach to what we're getting as a fractional CEO, what the difference is, because we're paying a lot more money.
Okay,
How
so
much
what,
more
what are
getting?
you asking me to think about? What are you asking me to do? What are you asking me to change? Be clear in what you're asking for.
To change or just to answer from what we've got, the difference.
Month 3, 4, and 5 look substantially different.
So why are we charged the same amount of money for month 1 and 2?
Because it's the part of the full process.
But if you only give an
So
hour
you
or
want me to-
so a week,
So here's what, okay, so I could have restructured it. I could have said, okay, it's $30,000 for 6 months. The first 2 months are $1,000. And then the last 4 months are $7,000 a month. You would be better with that.
I think people would understand a lot more that you're not going to be doing as much the first 2 months.
It's not that I'm not doing, you just don't understand what I do. You don't understand, so you think it's not valuable, and that's not accurate. The only thing you know is what you've researched, and that's limited. You only know what you've researched one thing. You don't understand the full process, and that's okay. You're not supposed to.
I think we should be able to understand the full process. Like I disagree. I think we should understand the full process. I think we should have a very clear understanding at the very beginning. It is going to be like, you know, me as a coach, I will do this, and then, you know, when it comes down here, this is what we're going to do. It's very hard when we, like, Missy has the same thing, and then she sits there and gives us numbers, and she says, this is what you do, you're priced right here, you're this, and gives us marketing company and just different things, and like, you have to understand that's very hard to grasp and understand why this is so much money. Again, like I said, I didn't do my due diligence, my research before. I just fully knew that you knew our situation, you knew everything going on, and I went with it. Didn't ask any questions. Should have.
You still didn't answer my question. What do you want for me to think about tonight and give you an answer on tomorrow?
Every time I do, you say that's not the thing. So I don't know how else to say it.
You haven't clearly communicated what you want. You want me to change my pricing? You want me to change the process? You want me to redo the process because you don't understand? Is that what you're saying? You want me to change my pricing structure? Do you want me to change something different? What?
No, okay. Do you think you've done everything you were supposed to do these first 2 months?
I think I'm exactly where I wanted to be, except for your lack of trust.
So do you think you did everything?
Obviously not. No, because I lost trust somewhere along the process. So therefore, there is something on my part that failed in the communication that I lost trust.
So what I'm saying is like everything, like even that we came to you for,
Jennifer,
see
what
how
do you,
you don't see it.
huh?
I don't see how you don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see how like you can't sit there and say, you know what, I failed on when y'all asked me to do certain things. I didn't follow through with the full thing.
I've already talked about that. I've admitted those things. I said I dropped the ball on the drug policy. I told you I researched it and I couldn't make a decision on what was best. So I sent you all the options that I had.
We got
I
40
sat there in a
minutes.
meeting and I talked about that and I apologize for that. So do you want to continue to bring up things or do we want to move forward?
But that's why I'm asking. I'm like, for these first 2 months, you truly feel that you've done everything you should have done. And you said, I feel like I'm there except for losing all stress.
Okay.
Okay, I don't.
I will. One of the things I work very hard to do is to do honest reflection of myself and ongoing doing that, even sometimes to my detriment. Um, and I will spend honest evaluation time tonight thinking through that. But y'all have to decide what is the action moving forward. Because when Jeff got off, it sounded like he was ready to be done. And so you haven't said that you want to keep going. You haven't said you want to be done. I don't know what you want moving forward. And you have to decide, what do you want moving forward? And so you have to decide, are you in? And Jeff sounded like he was ready to end the contract no matter what. So
Very hard day today.
what's that?
He's had a very hard day from the beginning of the day. He's had a crappy day.
Okay. So y'all have to make that decision. You have to make that decision. You own the company. So what time do you think Jeff will be off tonight?
They're still there.
Can you send me a message by 6:30 for what you want to do moving forward? Did you respond? I didn't. You broke up on me. It just went kind of fuzzy.
I said, okay,
So you can do that by 6:30, not to me.
do my best. I mean, I don't know that I'll have time. I don't know why there's a time frame that I have to do it for this.
You don't think that, what?
I don't know why you're pushing for a time. Like
Because I
right now.
want you to make a decision.
Yeah, but when I make impulse decisions, is when I make bad decisions.
Exactly what I told you I'd do, that I'm not going to give you an answer that I don't know the answer for. I'm going to go find
But
my,
you're pushing me to make a decision. First you want 5, and then it's not. So it's the same.
okay. So when will you have me an answer by?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow when? I want you to set I want you to set your own deadline. You tell me the deadline, and whatever the deadline is, that's your deadline. You set the deadline. I don't want to set a deadline for you. Tell me when you'll make a decision by.
Okay, 5 o'clock tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. I will have some things ready to send to you, and we'll continue working through things. And then I look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
Okay, all right, we're gonna get this.
All right. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Counselor Fleming.